Hello my friend and welcome to this reading. My name is Oki and today we will have a look at a message of hope coming to you from Goddess Isis. And we will have a look at what this message is actually about and also what you are ready to release now and what you are ready to reclaim now. So I am very excited because the three cards I've shuffled out for you already feel like they have a powerful healing message for you. So we have card number 1 with life restored. Card number 2 with enter the chamber of healing. And card number 3 with magic and ritual. And as always, you will find the timestamps in the description box below. I hope that you enjoy your reading. Hello again, and let's get started with your reading. So you chose this beautiful card, Life Restored, and it reads, Priestess of the Phoenix. So the image on this card is the scarab beetle, and in Egyptian mythology, the scarab beetle stands for eternal life, and it also says priestess of the phoenix. So the phoenix, of course, is this mythological animal that ignites in flame and then thereby rejuvenates itself. So it's also a creature who lives eternally. And I think this is really a powerful message already that your life will be restored. You will be able to start anew. You will be able to start over. Your sense of vitality and youth will be restored. Things like that. But let's have a closer look at what this message of hope is actually about. What is this message of hope about? I saw this card. Marie Masquerade, Glamour, Intrigue, Drama. And also this card, Death and the Maiden, Invasion, Boundaries, Violated, Dominance. Okay, those two cards feel to me a bit like you are involved in some kind of drama or intrigue or unhealthy relationship or unhealthy situation that somehow you got drawn into. And I think your message of hope is about getting out of that situation. But let's get some tarot cards as well to maybe gain more clarity. So what is this message of hope about? I see this card sticking out. Strength. And it's interesting, if you have been following my channel or my videos, you will know that the Strength card actually came out in a lot of readings lately. Then we have the 9 of Wands, the Knight of Swords. Yeah, something about boundaries with the 9 of Wands. And we also have the 3 of Pentacles. So what I'm hearing is know your worth with the 3 of Pentacles and also make good choices about who you want to work with or who you want to connect with, how you want to relate to people, what kind of position you want to take in a project. And don't allow others to sort of dominate you or violate your boundaries. Be very clear, have a very clear vision of what you want and how to communicate that with the Knight of Swords also. Communicate with clarity is what I am getting. And also have the strength to set good boundaries for yourself. Defend what is yours is what I'm getting with the 9 of Wands. And I am feeling that maybe you are a person who is very optimistic or very cheerful, or maybe you have a lot of skills there's something about you anyway that other people, I think, crave or want to connect to. But make sure that you're sharing those things in a good way, in a healthy way. Don't let others sort of be energy vampires and drain those energies from you, or only connect to you because you have something that they want. Make sure that you know your worth and you know how to differentiate between people who seriously want to work together with you, appreciate you, respect you, and have a relationship that's based on mutual respect and support. And also set clear boundaries against people who want to invade your space, maybe, or who want to draw you into drama, or draw you into their own drama. Maybe people have a hard time accepting that you have a positive outlook on life because they don't. And so maybe they envy you or envy some qualities about you. And I think this is how your life will be restored, by protecting your own energies better. Because right now it feels like something or someone is draining those energies out of you. Or maybe it's not people, maybe you're involved in a project that is draining your energy out of you, that doesn't feel right, or doesn't feel right anymore. So even if you have invested energy in this project or in those people, I think now is a time to step away from it if it doesn't feel right anymore. No matter how much you've already invested, because it will only drain you. It will get you nowhere. Sort of like count your losses and then move on. Have the strength and the discipline to make good decisions. And don't go with maybe wishful thinking. Be realistic about those people or those situations. Okay? So let's have a look next at what you are ready to release now, what kinds of energies you are ready to release now. And I see this card sticking out, but I also want to take that card. So we have the Parent and the Well. Yeah, that goes so well with what we've already talked about, that you are sort of the giving and nurturing person, the parent, someone who maybe likes to take care of others or likes to be the leader in a positive way, and other people maybe just depend on your skills or depend on your kindness, or maybe even exploit it, as we've mentioned before. And with the Well, I'm hearing fill your own cup first, because I think to some people, and that's what I've been trying to describe before, you are just a wishing well, right? They think they can just sort of, quote unquote, use you for their own drama, for their own purposes, or for their own energy, for the things they maybe crave but can't achieve on their own. But you're stepping out of those energies now. And let's maybe get one more tarot card to gain more information. And I saw this card. The Queen of Cups, yes. So you are very aware of your emotions. You are very balanced in your emotions. Don't let others sort of challenge or disrupt that balance that you feel. And I think it could be that you're a very strong empath. And of course, for empaths, it's always difficult to see others suffer. So of course, we want to step in. But I think for you now, it's important to make decisions around when you want to step in and how much you want to support others and how much you can afford to give to others and how much you need to protect your own energies, your own emotional stability. And maybe also with the well, find things that are nourishing to you. Find things where you can sort of rest and rejuvenate and have a moment of peace. And also, of course, this nurturing energy of being a parent, that's a very beautiful energy. I just feel that it needs to be more balanced. I think maybe you've been leaning into it too much, or in ways that aren't really appropriate, because of course if you're taking care of a child or you're a teacher guiding a student, of course it's appropriate to take on this role, but in other relationships, of course it can't be this one-sided, and I think that's what has been happening. Okay, let's next have a look at what energy you are ready to reclaim now. The Pilgrim, yes, very beautiful. So I think the energy you are ready to reclaim now, and I want to get another tarot cards to make it more clear, but the first things I'm getting is you are going on your own adventures now. You are ready to move on and find something that is even better for you, or just exploring your options, exploring new things, not being stuck in this drama or not so good relationships or not so good work situation. Okay, 8 of Swords. Yes, you are freeing yourself from where you are stuck right now. And also 2 of Pentacles, and finding more balance. More balance between yourself and others, maybe also more balance between your emotional side and your rational side, or your private life and your work life, or just a better flow of energies, a better flow of give and take. And with the Pilgrim, I'm also thinking that you're really ready to embrace your independence and your authenticity. And maybe this being a parent or taking care of other people or investing yourself in projects gave you a sense of purpose and meaning and a sense of self-worth, maybe even. But I think now you're realizing that there are other things that can give you a sense of purpose and meaning and self-worth. I think you're ready to explore, you're ready to be seen, you're ready to create your own adventures and follow your own dreams. With maybe disregarding is maybe a bit of a strong word, but not putting other people's needs higher than your own anymore. And maybe that feels a bit scary to you at first, but I think it will give you a great sense of freedom. And also, I think it will feel like you have found yourself again. And maybe that's what this Life Restored is about. That maybe right now you are not feeling very at home in your own life, or you feel that you're not being yourself, or that you have somehow lost who you are. And I think you're ready to find that out again. Yeah, very beautiful. Very powerful. Okay, let's get one more card to see if there are any last messages, and then of course I will try to sum up the reading and an affirmation for you in case you want to continue working on the energies of the reading. And we have a personal issue reach a solution with full moon in Cancer. And of course Cancer is also a card about emotions, and with the hard shell, the Cancer has also a card of setting boundaries. So yeah, that ties, I think, very well with in the whole theme of the reading. And I think it states it very simply, this trusting or having hope that a resolution will be reached. you don't have to stay in this energy. You will soon move out of it with great clarity and confidence, with being able to feel strong enough to protect your boundaries, to set your boundaries, knowing your worth, knowing how to handle your emotions, knowing how to be an empath and still sort of care for yourself enough, protect your own energies enough. And then from there, going on new adventures. Yeah, very beautiful. So let me try to sum up this reading in an affirmation for you. I now tap into my inner strength and sense of self-worth to set proper boundaries for myself and communicate them clearly. I let go of being a wishing well for others and step into my own power, into my own life's journey, into following my own vision. I trust that once I learn to protect my energies, my life force will be restored to full. Okay, those were the affirmations that wanted to come through. Of course, you could come up with your own affirmations. If you do so, please let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and see you next time. Hello again, and let's get started with your reading. So you chose this card. Enter the chamber of healing, healing in the divine chamber of the Lady Isis. So yeah, it's interesting because it looks a bit dark and scary, doesn't it? This entrance to the unknown, maybe. But whatever this unknown is, whatever this entrance to the unknown is, it will create healing for you. And I think that is a message of hope, that even things that look a bit dark now, healing can come from them. But yeah, let's get some more cards to explore more what this message of hope is actually about. What is it actually about? Fairy of the Highlands. It's time to be brave. Yeah, I think that's definitely a thing with this stepping into the unknown. That looks a bit dark. And we have Death and the Maiden. And that's interesting because we had the same card in group 1 in the same position. Okay, let's see. So I do think that in this reading it means something slightly different. And actually I want to get some tarot cards first to gain more clarity. Strength. That's uncanny because we also had this card in group 1 in the same position. Wow. 2 of Wands. Okay. What else? The Fool. And the 10 of Wands. Okay, it's interesting. Why is there so much overlap with group 1? I don't know yet. Maybe it's just the quality of this time. Of course, this is a timeless reading, but sometimes I feel that the current energies of the time come through very strongly, nevertheless. So what's coming through the strongest with the 10 of Wands is that you have to unburden yourself of something and regain sort of this innocent, childlike lust for life, lust for adventure. Not being scared to make a fool of yourself. That's something that will give you a sense of relief and unburdening. And with the 2 of Wands, of course, the 2 of Wands can also speak of a door opening or a portal that you have to step through for initiation, themes like that. And so I think it goes very well with this healing chamber, because we have those two pillars here, and then we have the two wands sort of framing the scene in this Two of Wands cards. And this is a very beautiful Two of Wands, I think, because it also emphasizes the theme of balance, maybe more than other tarot decks do. And in this case, I'm also getting a sense of great beauty from this card. So something will shift and become more beautiful. Maybe you are becoming more beautiful. Maybe something in your life is becoming more beautiful, and you will be able to enjoy it more than before. But I think for that you will have to cultivate this beginner's mind, so to speak. Being open to new experiences in your life. And maybe taking a risk, maybe doing something that feels foolish, but you feel drawn to it nevertheless. Your intuition is maybe telling you to go there, or your heart is telling you to go there, or your desires are telling you to go there. And maybe you can't really see why you are drawn to it, or maybe you can't really see what will come of it, but it will bring a change for the better, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, and with the Strength card in this case, I think it really emphasizes the theme of bravery and courage and finding inner strength to take the steps you want to take or that you need to take. To let go of something that maybe felt very secure to you until now. Or maybe even felt like fate is what I'm hearing until now. This is whatever this represents, it is not your fate. So whatever situation, and I think you will know what it is. Could be a relationship, a work relationship, your home, your country, I don't know. And maybe it's something where you feel you're stuck in it or tied to it because of responsibilities, or because of you wanting to project a certain image. You don't want to look like the fool, but now it's time to risk looking like the fool. I think that's a very strong theme coming through. And with the Fairy of the Highlands, I'm also getting something about your identity, your sense of identity, or maybe your sense of ancestry. Something about that wants to come to the forefront. Something about who you are, some characteristic that you want to represent maybe more. And that will help you to develop inner strength, tapping more into that sense of identity that you draw maybe from where you live or your ancestors, or maybe just a certain way of life that's really important to you, something like that. And allow that to become your strength. Because with this card, maybe someone has been whispering in your ear that you shouldn't tap into that, or you shouldn't express that, or you shouldn't make it your identity. But I think for you it is important to allow it. And maybe you've, with the Ten of Wands and the Death and the Maiden card, sort of allowed others to dictate your actions, or dictate your expression of yourself, or dictate, I don't know, just something in your life. And maybe you've been, in a way, overly compliant to the expectations of others. And I think this is where there's a bit of overlap to Group 1. So if that is a strong theme for you, maybe also watch Group 1. Of course, you don't have to, but I see a bit of overlap of those themes of becoming more independent from others. But in your case also, allowing within yourself even another side to show itself, to come up, to explore it with the beginner's mind, to let this beauty arise. Okay. Then let's have a look next at what you are ready to release now. What are you ready to release now? Okay. The creative and the forest. That's interesting, because the creative seems like a very positive card, but something about the creative, you are about to release it. And also the forest. Being lost in the forest, perhaps. Let's get another tarot card. Or maybe those two even. 5 of Pentacles, yeah, probably being lost in the forest. And 6 of Wands. Okay. Oh, now I think I'm getting it. I think your creativity, that's probably something that you have been hiding behind. Maybe that's something that you have been using to appear very authentic or appear very open, but really you have been using your creativity to sort of create a mask for yourself. And even with this butterfly and the eyes on the wings of the butterfly, that looks a bit like a mask to me. And both of those cards have the full moon, so maybe now allowing those hidden parts of you to shine more. And with the forest, maybe by hiding away those parts of you, also getting a bit lost on your path. Getting a bit lost on your path and maybe letting others sort of plant ideas in your head about the things that you should want to achieve, like maybe marriage or a certain career. And maybe in your heart of hearts, you know that those aren't the things that you want. And maybe this has given you a feeling that the things you actually want, you have a lack of those things. But you're ready to let that go now. You're ready to let that mask and following the wrong path, to let that go now. And of course, there's no such a thing as a wrong path. Sometimes we have to take a bit of a detour to actually get to what we want, but this path that you're on, I think it's no longer fitting you. Yeah, be brave. Be brave enough to let go of that mask. Okay, let's next have a look at what you are able to reclaim now. What will you be able to reclaim now? And we have the bad child and the raven. I love those cards. Yes. So I think what you are reclaiming right now is sort of those darker energies, let's call them. Those energies that maybe aren't always pleasant and nice. And maybe you stop being a people pleaser or stop caving to other people's expectations, and you are choosing to do the things that you want, no matter if other people judge you for it or not. No matter if other people label you the bad child or the bad person for it. And I don't mean that you are becoming egoistic or mean or doing bad things. I just think that sometimes there can be a lot of judgment around things that aren't actually bad, that just someone somehow decided that they would be bad. Maybe your parents had a certain image, for example, what career you should choose, and maybe they wanted you to do something very rational or prolific. Maybe they wanted you to become a lawyer or something, but maybe you choose to be an artist instead. And of course, being an artist or maybe an actor or actress or musician or something like that, that can still have this image of not being a real job, or you will end up not having enough money to support yourself or something. And so maybe you have let those people convince you that the path you want to choose is a bad path, when it's actually not, when it's actually your path. And now you're reclaiming your own path. That's so powerful. That's so powerful. It's almost making me cry. Very beautiful. And with the raven, same energy, you know, the things that seem dark or bad or have a certain image. Maybe it's also working with death in some way. Maybe your dream path or your dream career would be, I don't know, working at a hospice or being a funeral director or something like that. And maybe that's a very taboo thing in your family or in your culture or something like that. That's just an example. It could be something else, but that's something that comes to mind. Okay. And we have the 3 of Cups. Okay, we are getting a lot of cards today. We are getting the Sun and also the Knight of Pentacles. And it's interesting because I think this Knight of Pentacles looks a bit like this image of an undertaker or something, like from historic times. So maybe that goes in the same direction of embracing those sort of darker parts of yourself. But also, of course, the Knight of Pentacles, they are building their own path. They are building their own life. They are creating something that is very stable. So I think you will find a way to bring those energies, those darker energies, in a stable and supportive way. And it will also, with the 3 of Cups, allow you to connect to like-minded people. And with the Sun, I think it will also, just bring you joy to finally allow yourself to express who you are and to express your sort of dreams, even if they are a bit unusual. And I think embracing those things will also give you a stronger sense of identity and self-worth and self-respect. Okay, yes. So I think you are on a very beautiful path. Just allow yourself to enter this unknown chamber. Okay, and we have nothing is yet set in stone. So you can change your path, even if you feel stuck, like we've discussed before. Nothing is yet set in stone. You can shape your own path. You can shape your own future. You can also allow yourself to just explore. You can do something foolish, take risks. And even if it's not the first attempt that gets you where you want to go, just keep trying things. Just keep doing things. Just keep leaning more and discovering more of who you really are and what you really want. And how you can let go of this mask. Okay, so now let me sum up this reading in an affirmation for you in case you want to continue working with the energy of the reading. I step into the healing chamber of my true self. I let go of my mask and embrace my darker aspects. I release all fear of following my own path, my own dreams, my own wishes, and trust that it will lead me to more happiness and fulfillment. Okay, those were the affirmations that wanted to come through. Of course, you could come up with your own affirmations. If you do so, please let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and see you next time. Hello again, and let's get started with your reading. So you chose this card, Magic and Ritual, Crafting Sacred Practice. And I feel your message of hope is about empowerment, self-empowerment probably, and or about being protected by your spirit guides, being protected by Goddess Isis even, or being protected by whatever deities you believe in, or entities you believe in, or maybe just the universe. And I think with the crafting sacred practice, maybe also deepening your relationship with the divine. I'm getting a very soft, nurturing energy from this card, but also a very powerful energy. I'm also getting something about self-love, awakening to self-love, awakening to your own beauty, to your own gifts, to your own power, something like that. So we are off to a good start, but let's get some more cards to see what else this message of hope is about. What is this message of hope about? Mildew Fairy, clean up time. And I see this one sticking out. Faceless ghosts and the haunted girl, ghost people. Interesting. Actually, let me read the ghost people card because I'm not quite sure what that is about. And here it says, the haunted girl speaks. These faceless ones are coming to me, trying to take advantage of what they see as my moment of weakness. But I do not fear them, as I know they are blank, formless, and simply taking on any energy they can find. I know who I am, and I clearly see that they do not. They are simply spirits who have lost their way, and so they feed off others. I may not be at my strongest at this time, but I am stronger than they ever will be. They will not feed off me, for I know who they are and what it is they seek. I do not wish them harm, but neither will I give my energy away to them. I will also warn you to do the same. So interesting, because the first two groups also got something about protecting their energy. I can't remember now, one of the groups at least had that as a theme. Anyway, yeah. Protecting your energy, protecting yourself from maybe other people, knowing who you are, stepping into your power again. And with the cleanup time, I am getting to sort of release the things that are not aligned with your self-love, self-empowerment. Really making solid decisions about what kind of energies you want in your life, what kind of people you want in your life, and what you don't want in your life. And not just following your fears, but really stepping into your power and knowing that you always have choice and you can make good decisions for yourself. But let's get some more tarot cards, or let's get some tarot cards to see what else this message of hope is about. We have the Knight of Swords and the King of Swords. Yeah, gain clarity on what it is that you want and need and what it is that you don't want and need. Okay, we got 3 more cards, so I'm taking them, and it's the Hermit, Justice, and the King of Wands. Another king. So I think stepping into your sovereignty, into your authenticity, into your authority over your own life. And the Justice, of course, has a sword here as well, and the scales. So more about clarity, making clear choices, making fair choices, making choices that feel in balance with who you are and who you want to become. And maybe you need a bit more time to develop those skills or to develop those insights on how to do that, on how to have clarity about what is a good fit for you and what isn't, or who you want in your life and who you don't want into your life, and maybe even figuring out which of your fears are irrational fears and which of your fears are fears that are really pointing you towards some profound wisdom or some self-knowledge. Yeah, a lot about stepping into your power and being fierce in your expression of yourself and being fierce in making those clean-cut decisions. But also with this card again, this great sense of softness, of beauty, of nurturing, protecting energies. But I feel those are more coming from your spirit guides. I feel your own energies want you to really lean into this sense of clarity and sovereignty and making choices. That's standing out really strongly. But let's have a look now at what you are ready to release. What kind of energies are you ready to release? Got 3 cards. We are getting so many cards right now. Authentic self. Yeah, that's what we already talked about. The Mother and the Creative. With those 3 cards, to be honest, I'm feeling a lot of confusion. So I'm guessing that is what you are feeling. Maybe confusion about your identity or confusion about what your authentic self really is. Or maybe confusion about how you can combine different aspects of yourself. Maybe you are a mother or a parent, but you're also very creative, and maybe you don't know how to sort of juggle a sense of responsibility to others, maybe, or a sense of responsibility of taking care of yourself with your more creative ideas, with your more adventurous ideas, and how to find an authentic expression of that. Maybe let's get 1 tarot card to gain more clarity, because confusion is coming through, and maybe it's that confusion that you have to clean up. We have the 10 of Pentacles and the 6 of Cups. Maybe it's something from your childhood that you need to clean up, or something from your past, because the 6 of Cups can sometimes stand for nostalgia. Or maybe it's something from your family line or your traditions that you are rooted in that you need to release, that doesn't fit anymore. Maybe somehow you're the odd one out in your family, and that is what is causing you conflict. Or maybe you've been building something very, very solid and something that has been serving you well, but now you feel that it isn't satisfying anymore. Maybe you have been very successful in your life, but now you're feeling being called to a spiritual path, maybe. Could be something else, that's just an example. But I do think you have to do a bit of emotional healing, a bit of cleanup, a bit of gaining clarity, and maybe just reflecting and reevaluating what does still fit you and serve you and what doesn't fit or serve you any longer. And of course, with this authentic self, they are looking in the mirror here. So that's also a pointer to maybe doing some self-reflection, some revisions in your life, maybe even in all areas of your life. Because I feel that you won't be able to move forward with everything you've built so far. I think you will have to make some cuts, so to speak, and set some new priorities. And maybe that's why so many cards came out here. Maybe you're a bit overwhelmed because you've been trying to be very many things at once, or doing very many things at once, or wearing very many hats at once. Or maybe you're just a very social person and now comes a time to maybe retreat a bit from that and maybe spend a bit of time just being with yourself and learning how to enjoy that. But the main message, I think, is about gaining clarity and getting out of confusion. But let's have a look at what energies you're ready to reclaim now. What energies are you ready to reclaim now? The Survivor. Okay. And the Judge. That's interesting with the Judge and Justice. Okay, but let's get another tarot card or two. So we have the Devil and the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords can be a card that speaks about setting good boundaries, but also choosing your fights. So maybe you don't have to fight against those people or those influences, as was mentioned in the guidebook. Maybe you can just sort of ignore them and let them be and just quietly walk away. And with the Devil, I feel that maybe there's something that you are scared about. Maybe you are scared about, I don't know, the spiritual world even, or negative influences that could come your way, or people trying to negatively influence you. And then again, I'm getting this reminder that you have choice. It's your choice. You don't need to listen to them. Like those energies, those people, those fears even, unless you let them in, they can't harm you. It's okay to have fears. That doesn't mean that you have to let those fears dictate what you're doing, right? So you can just sort of let them be and make good decisions anyway. Yeah, it seems that there's some sort of thing that seems to have power over you, but really it doesn't. And I can't really tell you what that thing is, but I think you will know. You will know something that feels like it has power over you, that makes you feel powerless. You're not powerless. That's the message that's coming through again and again. You are the survivor. And look at this card here with it looks like a scene from Little Red Riding Hood, where there's this huge big wolf and Little Red Riding Hood is just very small, but she isn't scared. She just follows her path. So don't be scared of that wolf. It won't be able to hurt you because you're protected by your spirit guides. And as always, when I'm talking about protection, of course, like, make good choices to make sure that you are reasonably protected in real life. Of course, do that, but also know that you can sort of call onto the spirit guides and onto the divine powers and the deities to help you and protect you. Yeah, and with the judge again, that's only reinforcing for me the theme of making choices for yourself, making wise choices, making rational choices. Choices with great clarity that aren't influenced by fear or aren't influenced by confusion or aren't influenced by emotions that you feel at that moment. Making decisions that come from a place of great clarity and inner wisdom. That will unlock for you now. That you will be able to reclaim right now. Yeah, that's pretty powerful. Okay, let's get one more card, and then of course after that I will try to sum up this reading in an affirmation for you in case you want to continue working with the energies of this reading. But let's get one more card to see if there are any last messages. And we have your commitment is being tested, very interesting, and adjustments are required. Yes, adjustments are required. You really need to step it up and claim your power and claim your wisdom and become more clear in your choices and independent in your choices. And let your choices come from a place of self-love, self-respect, maybe also spiritual alignment and inner wisdom. And your commitment is being tested. Yeah, I think this is really about, do you want to stay in this place that maybe feels okay, but also in your heart of heart, you know that there is more? Are you committed to continuing your journey, even if it is a bit scary? Are you committed to clean up your life and let go of the things that don't serve you anymore? So I think that is the commitment that is being tested, the commitment to yourself, to your own journey, to your own sovereignty. Okay, yeah, so let me try to sum up this reading and an affirmation for you. I now make a commitment to myself and to my own path. I use my inner wisdom to make good choices and cut out everything out of my life that doesn't serve me anymore. I continue courageously on my journey and trust that I am divinely guided and protected. Okay, so these are the affirmations that wanted to come through. Of course, you could come up with your own affirmations. If you do so, please let me know in the comments below. Please also consider liking and subscribing. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and see you next time.